Behind the big lie was an even bigger lie. It is the lie that this increasingly diverse American electorate does not get to determine the future of the country. The lie and the logic of January 6th is a sickness. It is a kind of cancer that then metastasized into dozens of voter suppression laws all across our country. And we must be vigilant tonight because these anti-democratic forces are at work right now in Georgia and all across our country. Yes, I saw him. I saw him holding the Bible and endorsing a Bible as if it needed his endorsement. He should try reading it. It says, do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with your God. He should try reading it. It says, love your neighbor as yourself. It says, inasmuch as you've done it unto the least of these, you have done it also unto me. I choose the American covenant. E pluribus unum, out of many one. I choose January 5th. I choose a nation that provides a path for ordinary people and gives every child a chance. And that's Joe Biden's America. And he's been fighting for it for more than a half century. President Biden, America is so much better because of you, a true patriot who has always put the people first. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. But I'll tell you something else. Not only is that Joe Biden's America, that's Kamala Harris's America.
Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia speaking last night at the DNC.
Speaking last night, you know, the thing is, Willie, it's all about like who you follow and who follows you, right?
Stop.
So if you're Herman's Hermits, you don't want to follow the Beatles, right? You just don't want to do it.
Okay.
And if you're Chris Coons, you don't want to follow.
I love Chris Coons.
The pastor. But Chris had to follow,
just his
Minister
spot,
Warnock.
His spot in the batting order, Senator Coons, after Senator Warnock, Reverend Warnock, took us to Ebenezer Baptist Church for a few minutes last night.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
And the Reverend joins us now from Chicago. Reverend, preach, baby, preach.
That was really great.
Wonderful message last night. We've been talking, and you touched on this last night, but we've been talking about how strange it is that Republicans have turned on America. That Donald Trump says that we're a lousy nation, we're a failing nation, we're a nation of losers, we're a stupid nation. And you actually have the Democrats stepping in the gap, holding up USA signs, telling their own stories like you told your own story about the greatness of America. And weirdly enough, that's a story that the Republican nominee just doesn't get because he trashes America every day.
That's absolutely right, Joe, and it's great to be here with you, and Mika, great to be here with Jonathan. Listen, I love this country, and here's why we are fighting so hard this cycle. The great thing about America is we always have a path to make it better. And whatever it is we need to correct, at least we have the instrumentation. We have a tradition, a democratic tradition. And I'm a product of that. Born literally a year after Dr. King's death, my life is so incredibly different because of the sacrifice of him and so many others. And here I am, a kid who grew up in public housing, from a very large family, first college graduate in my family. I'm a United States Senator, and every morning for all the challenges in Washington, every now and then I have to pinch myself. I can't believe I get to stand up on behalf of poor children all across America, from Atlanta to Appalachia. And that's the message that I tried to bring last night. We've got to heal the land.
Senator, good morning. It's great to see you. For those of our viewers who may not have had a chance to see your speech yet from last night, you spoke about a January 5th America versus a January 6th America. Could you explain what you meant by that?
Well, I was elected to the Senate alongside my brother and dear friend Jon Ossoff. Here you have an African-American man who grew up in public housing, the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Martin Luther King served, alongside a Jewish man, the son of an immigrant, elected from a state that was in the old Confederacy in one fell swoop on January 5th. And, you know, there I was celebrating. In fact, the next morning I was on this show, and we were all talking about what a great victory. But it was short-lived, the celebration. Later that day, we saw the other side of the complicated American story. And this is what I try to be honest about in my work. There are those who would say, well, January 6th, that's not who we are as a country. Well, there is a way in which that's who we've always been. The good news is that's not all that we are. The complicated American story is what I was trying to talk about. This January 5th, January 6th, a short 24-hour period, both speaking a truth about our country, and before us in this very election, we get to choose, as every generation of Americans, which direction we'll go.
So, Senator, I want to go back to, I know it was a meaningful moment for you last night. We just played it there, talking about the Bible. And you referred to Donald Trump not only holding it for a photo op after he used law enforcement to clear a park of peaceful protesters, but also now trying to sell it and autograph it. And you didn't use the word weird, which I think is now a word that's being overused in Democratic talking points. But to me, it struck me as showing just how out of step he is, out of touch he is for the values that so many Americans have, and that should be a big part of this campaign going forward, sort of reinforcing that idea, hey, he's in it for himself. He's not like us.
Absolutely. And, you know, as a pastor, as a person of faith, I take great offense with the way in which he is weaponizing the symbols of our great country and also the symbols of the faith towards this kind of hate. And we've seen this kind of thing historically. And listen, we're the United States of America. I think there are enough decent people. We will push past this awful chapter of hate and division and Trumpism. But I have to say that the Christian church is going to have to come to terms with the fact that there is no full accounting for this phenomenon of Trumpism without reference to the church. And we got to come to terms with that. My faith is not a weapon, it's a bridge. And that's the way Dr. King used his faith. That's the way Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel used his faith, who said when he marched alongside Dr. King, he felt like his legs were praying. And I was trying to call us back to that moral tradition that evinces certain values that I think are resonant in all of the great faith traditions.
And, you know, that's how so many pastors, ministers, reverends use the faith as a bridge. And Senator, I remember when Billy Graham decided to go to the Soviet Union, and he caught so much flack from a lot of people, a lot of conservatives, a lot of his followers. Why would you go to the Soviet Union? And he said, because I need to spread God's message there as well. And Billy Graham always saw his faith, as you said, as a bridge, not a weapon. And you're right about that reckoning. When does that begin?
Well, it's work that I think is happening now. And even as I talk to some young evangelicals in Georgia, folks who grew up in the church, they're becoming deeply disaffected by the ways in which, you know, the churches or certain parts of our churches have allowed themselves to be used in this way. And which is why I think it's important, particularly for those of us in the Democratic Party, to be full-throated in the ways in which our faith informs our values, we've got to be full-throated in resisting this idea of Christian nationalism. And we've got to embrace, I think, the kind of faith that caused Martin Luther King Jr. and so many others to stand for the best in our tradition. For me, democracy is the political enactment of a spiritual idea, this notion that each of us has within us a spark of the divine, that we were created in what the theologians call the imago Dei, the image of God. And if I have a spark of the divine, I ought to have a voice in the direction of the country and my destiny within it. And I ought to respect the humanity of all of God's people, those of other faith traditions, those who claim no faith at all. That is this grand American experiment. And we get to write the next chapter.
Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia, thank you very much for being on the show this morning.
Good morning.
All right, we appreciate it. And coming